Hi there, my name is Daniel from Transcona Trailer Sales. I'm going to be walking through your 2017 Forest River Vibe 250 BHS. We're just going to start off with the back bumper here. Pull this cap off. You notice this is where we keep your sewer hose. We keep it in here just to keep the stench out of the unit. Just take note of those 2 ears there. Those are going to be the same 2 ears that are going to go on your sewer system. And I'll show you that right away. And that cap just locks into place, holds that in there. Right next to that, we do have your sewer outlet, or one of your sewer outlets. On this one, just take a note of that knob there. That's what your sewer hose is going to connect onto. It just twists on and twists off. On this one, you are emptying your waste holding tank and one of your sink and shower tank. And so that is going to be for your bathroom sink and your shower in the bathroom. You're always going to want to empty that black valve first and then follow behind it with the gray valve. Just reason being is your black tank is going to be your dirtiest water filled from your toilets. Right up from there, you do have your fresh water connection and your city water connection. You pop this cap off, you hook a garden hose up to there, and that's just gonna fill your fresh water tank. You know your fresh water tank's full. When the overflow just a little further ahead of that front tire starts spewing out water, that's when you know you can turn the water off. Your city water connection is just for when you're at a site with service. You can hook a garden hose right up to there. It's gonna pressurize your lines, and you don't have to run your water pump. Just right next to it, you do just have an exterior shower. It's just open with your 751 silver key. You get one with the unit. Open that up, and you do get your swivel extendable shower head, as well as hot and cold water. This port here is just going to be your fridge port, or fridge service port. There's not much you're going to worry about there. But right below that, you do have your power cord. This power cord does just pull out of the unit. It is about 15 feet long. If you want an extension cord, we do sell those. Unplugging it, you just got your standard 30 amp plug end. Most campsites do have this, so you could just plug right on in. If you're at home and you're wanting to run your fridge, or your campsite doesn't have 30 amp service, we do also include a 15 amp park adapter. Just keeping in mind you're going down to 15 amps power, so you won't be able to run something like your air conditioner. A little further ahead here, you do have your galley tank drain. Galley tank is going to be filled by your sink in your kitchen. And then just right here, that's that overflow tube I was telling you about. And this knob here, you just turn it, and that's going to empty your fresh water tank. Inside here is just some storage. At the front of the unit here, you do have your tongue jack. You got one button that you flip. It's going to turn on a little light here. And then you just got your up and down options. Inside this black box here is where they house the battery. That's where you're going to find that. In most situations when you want to turn your propane on, you can just loosen these little knobs. This flips open. You get access to it right here. But for the purpose of this video, I will just take this right off. Just take a note of this valve, this little selector valve here. With it green is just telling you that you are getting propane to the unit. You do just have two standard barbecue propane tanks. You just got to open that one up fully with it pointed this way. Let's say this tank runs empty. You can close this tank, switch this valve to point this way, and you're going to be drawing off this tank, so you can disconnect this tank and we'll get it filled. On this side of the unit, you do just have some more storage in here, but inside here is where you're going to find your 25-foot water hose we include, as well as that 15 amp park adapter I was telling you about. And we do also include a override for the stabilizer jacks. That being said, these stabilizer jacks are electric. That is just a worst case scenario option. The way those works is you just got this button here. You hit extend, those legs will start extending. Once they hit the ground, you will hear the motors wind up, and that's when you just know to stop. It's just going to take any bounce or sway we have. You see we have in the unit right now. We are going to have stabilizer jacks in the back of the unit as well, and I'll show you those in a second, and they work the same way. But you see that torqued up, that's when you know it's up. Just take note of this here. This is for your range hood inside above your stove. Whenever you are running that stove, you're gonna wanna have that range hood open, and you are just gonna wanna make sure that this flap is open. And whenever you're traveling, if you do wanna close that, it just stops dust from getting inside the unit, keeps things just that little bit cleaner. You do have a 110 plug outlet here, and do keep note of this furnace exhaust. This is where the furnace exhaust out of. But the air that comes out of here is going to get hot, so whatever in front of it, whenever you're running your furnace, whatever's in front of it could burn. So just keep in mind of that. Right here, we do just have your hot water tank, hot water heater service port. Open this up. You do have an 1/16" drain valve here, so if you take the socket with a ratchet and loosen that off, this plug should come out, and you'll be able to drain your hot water tank. Before you ever go to fire this hot water tank up, you are just going to want to make sure you give this valve a pull, and a shot of water should come out. This unit is winterized, so there's no water in the tank, so you wouldn't want to fire it because you do run the risk of burning your probes. I'm going to go over a reset procedure inside. The button I'm going to refer to is just right here. This is the switch for the back stabilizer jacks. They work the same way as the front. Extend is to go down, retract is to bring them up. Inside this compartment is just storage. And at the back of the unit, you do have a satellite inlet and a cable inlet, as well as your spare tire. Get inside the unit, you are just going to take this assist handle, push it up, fold it 90 degrees, it's going to lock into place. You open up that door, which is on its own little assist strut, and does stop it from going over the awning arm. To bring your stairs out, you just grab that arm, pull it down, pull it back, that's going to make its way out, and then you just flip out. Take a step on inside, your fire extinguisher is just on your right, and then you do just have your light switch right on your monitor panel here. It is your far right one to turn on the main living space lights. The button next to it does just turn on an awning LED strip light. And then you have your slide out button. You hit that slide out button out, which is down. Slide out's gonna start making its way out. You know that slide out's fully extended when you hear the motors wind up and cut out. Always making sure you have space on either side of the slide to bring it out or in. There you go, you hear that cut out, you know it's fully extended. Awning kind of works the same way. Hit that button out, the awning's gonna start making its way out. You are gonna know that awning's fully extended when you see the back of the metal tube and the little flap hanging down. Just keep note that sometimes that flap does get stuck, so you just have to retract it and retract it a little bit and put it back out. It's gonna start making its way back out. I will show you that if you do start getting rain, you can take any arm, front or rear, pull it down. It's gonna change the pitch of that awning head, allowing water to then run off. Now, if you do like the height of that better, you can do the same thing to the front arm, and it's gonna allow for more shade, but always just making sure you push that back to straight whenever you bring the awning in. That way you don't run the risk of bending anything. You are just gonna wanna make sure you bring that awning in whenever you see the winds pick up. They aren't meant to keep up with big winds. You do have your monitor panel right above that, so you got your battery. So we're currently C for charging, G would be good, F is fair, and L is low. And then you got your fresh, your black, and your gray 1 and your gray 2. And that just goes a third empty, a third, 2/3, and full. Right below that, you do have your water pump switch. If you hit that switch and turn it on, it's gonna turn your water pump on, drawing from your fresh water tank. And then you have your hot water heater button. So you're gonna hit that switch, you're gonna turn it on. This DSI fault light's gonna come on at first. Then the furnace is gonna try and light itself 3 times. If on the 3rd try it doesn't light, you do just have to turn this switch off, hit the reset button inside that service port I told you about, and then try it again. If that point it doesn't work, it'd be worth taking a look at it. Right down inside this cupboard, I will note that this is where you do get access to your water pump if you're going to be doing winterizing yourself. This little switch here does do a nice little accent light below the sink. The main bed / couch area. You have a couch when you wanted a couch. If you do want to turn it into a bed, you just got to grab the foot of the couch, pull it out. It's going to pull out. And then you just got little travel latches. And your bed folds down. If you want to fold it back up, you just grab the foot of the bed, push it up, lock those travel latches in place so that way it doesn't fall on anybody. Then to bring that couch back to the seating position, you just grab the foot and the top of it and just kind of assist it into place. It falls back into place nicely. In the dinette area, you do have a light right above here, which is nice. Lights up the area. In the kitchen area, I will note that this panel here, you got 4 screws holding it in place. Right behind there is where you're going to get to your bypass valves for your hot water heater to winterize it. And I will note this little cap here. If you open this up, you can put a garbage bin inside that compartment. And you can just throw your garbage right in there. Inside this, just storage, as well as some things that come with the unit. You have your microwave, which is just going to be like home. The range hood, which I told you about, with the flap on the outside. And then you have your stove. So the way that stove works, you're just going to take that knob, turn it over to light, and just hit that sparker. Just keeping in mind that sometimes it does take a second to clear all the air out of the lines. And it fires right on up. Now to start the oven, you do just have to open this up, turn this switch over to pilot on, and down below you do just take your lighter and just hold it on this little heater element. And you do have to hold the oven temperature control button down for it to work. Don't panic if it doesn't light within the first few tries, because sometimes it can take a second to clear all the air out of the lines. And there you go, the pilot's lit. Just hold that for another second, and then you can turn it up to your desired temperature and it fires right on up. Just always making sure you turn that off and put it away. On this side of the unit here, you do have your fridge and a freezer. Your temperature control is just on the right here. The further you slide this little white piece up, is the colder the fridge is going to get. And the lower you put it down, the warmer it's going to get. Turn it on. Your controls are just up top here. Push that button down. It's currently on auto, so it's going to search for shore power first, which we're plugged in, so it is just going to run off electricity. If you want it to run solely on gas, you can just depress that button, and now the fridge will solely run on gas. And on this wall here, right next to the bunk bed, you do have your thermostat control. You hit that button once, and it's going to go into fan. Now that's just going to be moving air with the air conditioner. There's going to be no heating or cooling involved. And then you can just go from high fan to low fan with the up and down buttons. And then you get into cool. So now this is going to be with the air conditioner kicking in. And to adjust the temperature that you would like, you just up and down with the arrows for the temperature you'd like. And then you get to furnace. Now this is going to turn on the furnace. The furnace does move all its air through the floor portals you see we have in the unit here. Whenever you fire up the furnace and turn it off, the furnace does run for about another 30 seconds, just 30 seconds to 2 minutes, just to let itself cool down as an added safety feature. I will note with the air conditioner here, you do have 2 options. You can run it in, you can run it with the louvers closed, and at that point it's going to be moving all its air through the ceiling ducting. And if you open these up, it is just going to dump all its air into the living space. So that would be a good feature to use when you first get out to your campsite. Upside on top of this top bunk here, you do have an emergency exit. The way that works is you just pull that red tab, this screen's gonna pop up, and then you just take the handle, fold it, and push it out, and you can hop out of the unit. Take note of, you do have a LP detector down here. That's going to be propane's heavier than air. It's going to sit on the ground. That guy's going to detect it. If it does start going off, you are just going to want to turn off the main supply propane to the unit and open up all the windows just to air it out. And then you do have your radio. That's going to be just like Home 2, minus the fact that you have different speakers. Speaker C isn't actually hooked up to anything. You just have to worry about speakers A and B. B being the outside speakers and A being the inside speakers. And on the wall here, you do have your cable satellite inlets, as well as your coax plugins. This little black button here, if you turn that on, that green light's gonna come on. It's just turning the antenna on the roof. With this on, it is gonna also improve your radio frequency. Inside the bathroom, you do just have your light switch on your right, and you do have a nice fan right above your toilet. That's pretty simple too. You just turn that knob, it's gonna start making its way up, and then you just have a switch to turn the fan on and off. Just always making sure you close it if it does start raining. And then you do have a shower with hot and cold water in there, and then just your sink area, as well as a medicine cabinet. And then you do have your main GFI plug here. So if you have a plug that doesn't work, you got test on the bottom, reset on the top. That would be the first place I would look if you have a plug that's not working. That's going to be it for this unit here. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call.